Marlow nearly died on his expedition to find Kurtz. He said, "I was within a hair's breadth of the last opportunity for pronouncement, and I found with humiliation that probably I would have nothing to say." Well, if you were facing your death, what last words would you pronounce? How would you sum things up? What would you say? Most people have nothing to say, just like Marlow. They never learned a thing. They barely lived. Marlow said, "This is the reason why I affirm that Kurtz was a remarkable man. He had something to say. He said it. Since I had peeped over the edge myself, I understand better the meaning of his stare, that could not see the flame of the candle, but was wide enough to embrace the whole universe, piercing enough to penetrate all the hearts that beat in the darkness." He had summed up, he had judged. The horror. He was a remarkable man. After all, this was the expression of some sort of belief. It had candor, it had conviction, it had a vibrating note of revolt in its whisper, it had the appalling face of a glimpsed truth, the strange commingling of desire and hate. Marlow was in every way changed by Kurtz. Even Kurtz's death was more real to him than his own would be. He said, "And it is not my own extremity I remember best, a vision of greyness without form filled with physical pain, and a careless contempt for the evanescence of all things, even of this pain itself. No. It is his extremity that I seem to have lived through." True, he had made that last stride, he had stepped over the edge, while I had been permitted to draw back my hesitating foot. And perhaps in this is the whole difference, perhaps all the wisdom, and all truth, and all sincerity, are just compressed into that inappreciable moment of time in which we step over the threshold of the invisible. Perhaps. I like to think my summing up would not have been a word of careless contempt. Better his cry, much better. It was an affirmation, a moral victory paid for by innumerable defeats, by abominable terrors, by abominable satisfactions. But it was a victory. That is why I have remained loyal to Kurtz to the last, and even beyond, when a long time after I heard once more, not his own voice, but the echo of his magnificent eloquence thrown to me from a soul as translucently pure as a cliff of crystal.